Hello everybody, this is LC Lupus from NoobFeed, showing you a little bit about how to play Thymesia. A couple of the basics, we will just go into them straight away. So, first of all, this is quite a Soulsborne-y game, especially along the more Bloodborne side rather than the Souls side. It is much faster oriented, and not so much about blocking. As a matter of fact, there isn't really a block. There is technically an upgrade you can get that allows you to block up to 75% of damage, but it's not a very good block. As you can tell, it doesn't take all the damage. So, usual attacks, special attack called a claw, some dodging, all of which can be upgraded. So it's not so much like in a lot of Dark Souls games where effectively it's all about what weapon you use, etc. This one you don't really get new weapons, you just have the weapons you have, and you have to learn to get really, really good at them and really fast. So, let us have a look at the actual enemy now. Okay, now, like with many, many Dark Souls kind of games, you can click to lock onto your enemy. Now, much like in other Dark Souls and Soulsborne-y kind of games, enemies project a lot, which is your main thing you need to pay attention to and learn your enemies so that you don't get hurt. Now, as you can see there, I did a little bit of damage where I hit them, and there's actually 2 health bars. One of those health bars will recover. As you will see now, it's starting to flash, and there it's recovering. What you have to do is you hit, and then you use this claw attack, which I had mentioned. Now, as soon as they have been weakened like this, you can then execute them. Now you have to execute them because otherwise they will get their health back. But now let's have a look at that again very, very quickly on another single enemy. There we go. Let's go in and strike. There you can see his health has been, the first bar has been depleted a bit. If you hit, it depletes it completely. Now it will not recover. But you are actually incentivized to move very, very quickly in this game. It is not like, say, it's more on the Bloodborne side than the Dark Souls side. I recently just died here, so let me grab my stuff back. I need to show a particular enemy, and so I just need to clear some of these other guys out who might otherwise get in the way of the big fight. This guy who's coming at me is the big boy. So, this is an elite. They fight a little bit differently. They have a lot more health, and you want to use a special ability that is quite unique to Thymesia, which is the feather. Now you see, if I just throw the feather, it doesn't really do much. But the feather is used to interrupt certain attacks. When the enemy goes blue like that, I can either get out the way, or use the feather to interrupt. So, let's try and interrupt. You have to get it right though, otherwise it does not work. Although now he is refusing to actually. And now you see, I screwed up the timing, and so, health potion, so we can see how to do it properly. Come on, guy. Let's aggro him a little bit. Now, you see, sometimes it just refuses to work for some reason, which is pretty much my fault, because you have to get it just right, and some of them can be a lot easier to project than others, and others are a bit more irritating. Alright. Now, while I'm waiting for this, something that is worth keeping in mind in this game is that it's a bit different to, say, the Dark Souls style, and is more along the Bloodborne style, where you want to move really, really quickly and aggressively, rather than playing it safe. We're just doing it safe right now because of a little bit of tutorializing. So as you can see, his hits can hurt quite a lot. There we go. Interruption. And then you go in for the claw and you do a lot of damage. Now, it is somewhat unreliable to rely on that particular feather counter ability. So actually what you really want to do is just wail on them and go really heavy. And use other abilities such as this, which is called a plague weapon. Now you get plague weapons from attacking enemies and getting it from them. Now this is a permanent one, and you get non-permanent ones. So my permanent one is a bow, because I've just decided to use a bow. And it deals quite a bit of that plague damage, so that you can then go in and hit them hard and deplete. But you can also take it from them. So you see, I've now effectively taken his ability, which is this halberd thing. Now, I can decide to use his against him if I want to. Which allows you to sort of be on the fly with a lot of attacking. And there we go, once again, you see? And then kill. And there will be an execution. And usually you will gain some kind of an upgrade item that you can then use. Regular enemies, you can deplete their health really, really quickly. So you see, you go at them, hit, hit, hit. Claw, claw, death. It is not very difficult to kill them. And a lot of the time you will find these kinds of things. This is, you know, a note, but it'll also give you some upgrade items, which can be quite helpful. So you want to play fast. You want to play quite risky if you want to really, really go at them. Because I was going quite slowly, I lost a whole bunch of health, when really you want to go quite fast. So let's check out if you do it properly, if you actually go at it properly. Now first up there you can see there's a guy with a bow and arrow. They are very, very annoying. And not so great to have around. So I actually often want to kill them first. And they can be very, very irritating. So usually you want to take out any kind of ranged enemies first, because they can screw up your strategy. And always make sure you have health. Try your best not to get hurt though, obviously. So, we now know elites, we know the basics of fighting. There's some AI being great. Hello AI. Now, when you start upgrading, you can improve a lot of your abilities. And we're going to have a look at some of those now quickly. Now, you can alter your fighting on the fly, which is actually pretty cool. Not on the fly as in a regular menu, but essentially at the equivalent of a bonfire. So, you have a look. Your usual leveling up, your plague weapons that you can get, potions, which you can actually upgrade your potion, unlike a lot of things in more Dark Souls-y stuff. Now, the talents. This is where you can put skills into wherever you want, but you can also always remove skills, putting them elsewhere, if you want. This is really useful, because many of the bosses are best hit with certain strategies. So, for instance, the more human bosses, you might want to use the feather, and upgrade the feather quite a lot. But with the more non-human ones, you might want to use something else, such as increasing your claw abilities so that you can deal much more damage, etc., etc. You can then build depending on how you want to fight. Now, actually, one thing I missed here was there is actually a deflect. But the deflect, the parry, is not great, but at the same time, I am just not good at parrying. There we go. That was a parry. You essentially have to wait for them to hit you, but unlike in, say, a lot of Souls-like things where the enemy gets knocked back, it's not so much like that here, and it's more just I blocked them, pretty much, and I hit back their attack, which then allows you to hit them. It leaves them open for a little bit, but some enemies can hit you multiple times, which isn't so great, and it isn't, you know, wonderful to have to basically go parry, 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 parry to knock them back multiple times. But that could just be my personal bias. I'm more of a dodge and strike type person. And I think that should be a good little introductory segment. You need to try and be aggressive, hit them hard, hit them fast, and then take them out with the claw, which you can also have a different type of claw, which is this is quite a slow claw, where you can have a very, very fast claw. But the thing with the slow claw is that it also has range. It dashes you forward, whereas the short claw doesn't. Just as a quick show here, with your upgrades, you go to the claw, you get rid of those upgrades, and you put them into the short claw. And now you can see a short claw, sorry, that is the striking, short claw ability, which is, I think, actually deals more damage over time, but it doesn't clear any room between you and your enemy, so I do not personally like it and prefer the long claw. But there are many different types of upgrades that can do additional things for you. And that should pretty much be it. I hope that this has been somewhat helpful. And now this guy's coming back here. Let's just hit him with Plague Weapon. Strike, strike, death. There we go. This has been LC Lupus, playing as Corvus, our main man here. And I hope that you enjoy the game when you try it for yourself. Goodbye.